and I hear sirens. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run. They gave me the shot, they took away guns. Nothing to eat, we can't go to sleep. We're stuck in our homes, they're flooding the streets. Everyone's watching and glued to their screens. Misinformation like every week. Apocalypse.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Breaking news. I'm sure some of you have already heard about it. I was going to let it go, but then I started watching Fox's live stream, and holy shit. I've never seen somebody hold somebody's water so damn hard as I have Fox News. So, this is a live view. Well, this is a recorded view, but we'll get into a live view. It's the same damn thing of the House Rotunda office building. So this is at the United States Capitol. This is where the House of Representatives have their offices. Well, what's going on right now? There happens to be a Speaker of the House debate, election, and votes going on. Well, that's interfering with official proceedings, and we've heard all the entire time. Oh, I'm gonna get banned for this anyway. So, go over to fucking Rumble at some point, because I'm probably going to be taking a week off. But official business going off. Just official business. They're interrupting official business that gives direct aid to their enemy, which is Israel. This is a pro-Palestine insurrection. I'll call it what it is, because bullshit. And so we have to sit here and we have to listen to all these people just bend over backwards to make this okay. And I find this to be so damn hypocritical with what they're saying. So, for example, one of the things that Fox News just said is that they're peaceful, and they're not interrupting, but they had to shut down the office building because they're interrupting. But also, they're peaceful, and there's a really big, small fence. That, I swear to God, that's what he said. Really big, small fence that surrounds the Capitol because they anticipated these kinds of protests, and that they breached that really big, small fence. But they came in peacefully and had a permit to do it. Now, the Capitol Police have denied that and said that they are not permitted to be having this. They were permitted from 1 to 4 p.m. to have one at the National Mall, which is where this started. They were not permitted to come into the U.S. fucking House of Representatives office building and sit in the middle of the rotunda. That was not in their permit. That is against our laws. So, that's where we're at. I'll show you this clip real quick, and then we'll go over to the live feed. There's been several chants. We hope you hear us so we don't have to eliminate you. I thought that was an interesting one. This is the live feed right now. They're saying how peaceful it is. Well, you got in there somehow. Let's say hello. One thing for certain, the FBI won't get off their asses and arrest people, and this one changed my mind. Not a chance. Well, that's the one thing they said. They know it's illegal, and they've been arresting people, and all these people know that they're going to be arrested and are willing to make that sacrifice, and have, when they are arrested by these Capitol Police officers, are doing so peacefully. What's up, Bobby? Hey, Digger. They're in the Capitol. The United States Capitol. What's up, Stinch? What's up, Josh Chandler? Hey, Nandor. Nandor. Oh? Oh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. A really big, small fence. That's what set me over the edge. If you want to know what set me over to doing a fucking show about it, that was what set me over the edge. A really big, small fence. But they entered the house peacefully. Yeah. But, hey, what's up, Patrick? So, That's what's currently going on. So this is obviously a mess. This is obviously a security risk. It is obviously an insurrection because they're stopping the official duties of the United States Congress, the People's House, and electing a speaker, which I don't really give a shit about. Good for them, because then we're not going to spend any more money in Israel or fucking Ukraine. But this is going on right now. This is live right now. Absolute live feed. I wonder if I can turn this down a little bit. Yeah, he just went out. He was just arrested. Hey, no worries. He just went out across the top of the screen. He was getting arrested. It appeared. Well, I mean, yes, I agree. I don't want them to elect a speaker because then they can't spend our money. However, this is the same line of bullshit we got when the January 6th insurrection we were interrupting the people's house from doing its normal duties. Well, this is interrupting a speaker vote that was just about to go live at 5 o'clock, and now it has been postponed. So you're interrupting the duties of the House to do this. So it is no different than the one that happened on January 6th. And watch nobody be able to say that. Pretty soon here. They demand an immediate ceasefire. No data present. So their feed's down. Their feed's been up and down. So it should be back shortly, I would hope. I know this is going to be inflammatory and piss me off because I'm not a huge fan, but let's listen to what MTG says. Since we're waiting for the feed to come back up anyways. Maybe. We're getting there. Sorry, my internet's been fun. So now they're just showing an outside view. I want to go back to the MTG one. Because I think it's important to see what they're saying. Maybe somebody's trying to grape her, and like AOC did. So if you're not going to lock people up for that, we're not even in the city of DC for multiple years. Pledge them. Yep. Damn. So this is MTG.
Okay, so we have an insurrection happening in the Cannon building. This is the march outside, the pro-Palestinian march going on outside. And then we have this happening inside of our building. I'm going to take you guys down so you can see what's happening on the third floor.
Damn it.
Literally, they've come in and taken over. This is insanity.
Yeah, and that's why I prefaced it with, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of MTG, but she's kind of our AOC on the other side, so it's probably going to be ridiculous and over the top, so we'll land somewhere in the middle. Probably fun. No, this is an insurrection. Insurrection. Fuck you, YouTube. Another pearl of wisdom, one of the members, and again, I will not, and do not want to take a side in this conflict or anything. I think they're both fucked up and should both stop immediately. However, the Fox Live, Live Now from Fox, they were talking about how there was a gentleman waving an Israeli flag, and he was on the third floor up above the protesters, and that was inflammatory. He works there. A congressman. He fucking works there. Exactly.
This is where the press does all their hits. Of course, they know what they're doing. They always know what they're doing. I want to go see out the road out here. I'm going out here. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Jesus Christ. Oh, no, you're totally fine. I don't really want to listen to him. Don't mean waves a good erection. I'm getting old. I don't have too many good erections left in me. Exactly. Gotta make this count, Patrick. So, why we let that play? Because she's just gonna go around and sensationalize everything, which, again, not a big fan of, but you knew it was gonna happen. So, if you're wondering, this is where the National Mall is where this took place. So, this whole area, Washington Monument, all the way up to. So this is a reflecting pool down here. This is Washington, D.C. You have the Washington Monument. The White House is just slightly north. Then if we go for a little bit further east, we have the United States Capitol. Your Supreme Court is over here. The Library of Congress is just below the Supreme Court. And this is, so here is the, I went in too far. Here's the Cannon House Office Building. So this is where all the offices are for most of your elected representatives in the House of Representatives. And then you have the equal branch, I guess, of the Russell Senate Office Building on the other side with the Hart. So you have Hart, Russell, and then Rayburn and Cannon on the south side of the U.S. Capitol. This is where most of the work gets done. The Capitol is where we see most of the feeds from, but this is where most of your representatives hang out. So that's kind of a lay of the land of what we're talking about. So they came from this National Mall area just by the Washington Monument, walked down the National Mall to the United States Capitol, and then into the Cannon Office Building. So that is just a little bit of where we're at. And you can see that Washington Monument's right there. We can also see the Capitol Hill right there. So that's the Capitol building, U.S. Capitol. You still have both thumbs? Damn, you lucky.
They're against Israel. They're pro-Hamas. See their
Yeah.
signs?
Yep.
And they don't like me. They hate me.
They are not going to vote.
Yelling at me.
They're not voting as of right now. This is their official feed. So House is in recess, subject to call of the chair, which was supposed to happen by now, but it has not. No worries. No worries. Take care, Digger.
They claim they're for peace, but they're shooting me birds. I'm a member of Congress, and they're treating me this way.
Okay, so Patrick, no, I'm just sorry. I just saw your comment over on Rumble. No, but they've been on YouTube's been on its fuckery, so I'll probably get banned for a week. I'm just letting everybody know. So No, I thankfully have all my fingers. I've had a couple surgeries on a couple of them, but they're still there. So foxes drop their feed over there. I'm gonna look on the other fox. Maybe they still have it inside. They do not. They're back to Israel. I was shocked to see it was on there. I was more shocked about the language that they were using to describe it. That's incredibly frustrating. I do. So
replay remarks from President Biden. He did meet with.
We don't care about the remarks from Biden. Shut the hell up. So they're the only ones covering this right now, currently. But
upper areas of the rotunda is a different vantage point than what we have been seeing. But lots and lots of media pointing their cameras down on these protesters. It's unknown exactly how they got into the building. It's unknown when exactly they'll leave. We understand that people have been detained, but clearly this group staying put for now. We don't see any active.
Just listen to some of the bullshit. They're trying to.
Much of the hour. So we are going to keep an eye on this. We're going to keep this in a smaller box and play out President Biden's remarks with Bibi Netanyahu from earlier this morning. The president, as you just saw before the commercial break, is now on his way back to the U.S. after visiting Tel Aviv. He's making a pit stop in Germany right now, but it was just a few hours ago that the president was face-to-face with Bibi Netanyahu. Here's their conversation together.
Continue to work together.
The Capitol Police and the actual group is calling it an insurrection. So that's cool. Tend to trust the people that are doing it, but that's just me.
Of our soldiers and our people, Israel will prevail. Thank you, Mr. President.
Well, thank you.
We can watch this again for people who missed it.
In the wake of Hamas's appalling terrorist assault.
Holy shit, I'm still green on my video. That's crazy. Not for long.
What they did. This cabinet came together and standing strong, standing united, and I want you to know you're not alone. You are not alone. As I emphasized earlier, we will continue to have Israel's back as you work to defend your people. We'll continue to work with you and partners across the region to prevent more tragedy to innocent civilians. 75 years ago, your founders declared that this nation would be one based, quote, based on freedom, justice, and peace. Based on freedom, justice, and peace. The United States stands with you in defense of that freedom, in pursuit of that justice, and in support of that peace. Today, tomorrow, and always, we promise you.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
Nothing.
All right, so you're listening in there to those remarks as we continue to keep an eye on the U.S. Capitol. This is still a live image of more detained. It appears to be more detainments, possibly. The detainments that we've seen on camera have appeared to be peaceful. This is what we've been seeing over and over.
Appeared to be peaceful.
Capitol Police going one by one to these protesters. You can see that one protester there, woman who is a part of this group, putting her arms out. Police have been using zip ties to detain most of these people.
No, he's kind of
we do know
kind
that
of a loser.
People have been charged with assaulting a police officer at the U.S. Capitol as a result of
yeah,
this
he just doesn't. We're not worth his comments
Earlier
anymore.
Had images, live images outside the Capitol as well, where there's an active protest situation outside the Capitol. But we're obviously keeping a close eye on the situation inside the Capitol because 3 people are charged with assaulting a police officer as a result of the situation, and 3 pro-Palestinian demonstrators will be charged with illegally protesting inside a House office building, according to the Capitol Police.
3? That's it? I just heard that correctly, right? 3?
I am going to pump these audio levels up on this event. Listen in.
I'm going to go back like 15 seconds and see if he just actually said 3. Well, I just went back like 7 minutes. Deal with it.
Put this in a smaller box and play out President Biden's remarks with Bibi
Oh,
Netanyahu.
shit. I don't want to do that again. Those time wasted we'll never get back.
The detainments that we've seen on camera
Here we go.
have appeared to be peaceful. This is what we've been seeing over
That's
and
what
over.
I heard. That's what I heard.
Capitol Police going one by one to these protesters. You can see that one protester there, woman who is a part of this group, putting her arms out. Police have been using zip ties to detain most of these folks. We do know that 3 people have been charged with assaulting a police officer at the U.S. Capitol as a result of this
3.
protest. We earlier
3.
had live images outside the Capitol as well, where there's an active protest situation outside the Capitol. But we're obviously keeping a close eye on...
Whoa, dude, you're not a biologist. He might be a biologist, though.
3 people are charged with assaulting a police officer as a result of the situation.
Well, we're going to get to that,
3
Patrick.
pro-Palestinian demonstrators will be charged with illegally protesting inside a House office building, according to the Capitol Police.
There are hundreds of them in the fucking House office building. How do you only get 3? So it's already starting. So this is why it's interesting, because supposedly Donald Trump started the last one. Well, Hamas woman herself, Miss Rashida Tlaib, started this one very clearly.
Continue to watch people think it's okay to bomb a hospital where children... You know what's so hard sometimes is watching those videos and the people telling the kids don't cry and like let them cry. And they're shaking, and some of you know this, they keep telling them not to cry in Arabic. They can cry, I can cry, we all can cry. If we're not crying, something is wrong. And so I'm telling you right now, President Biden, not all America's with you on this one. And you need to wake up and understand that. We are literally watching people commit genocide and killing the vast majority just like this. And we still stand by and say nothing. We will remember this. But all of you
Motherfuckers haven't shut up.
You are on the right side of history. You're doing everything possible to save lives. What is wrong with that? Stop it with trying to politicize this.
Seriously? Holy shit. Potentially. Probably not. Probably never. And so we have an insurrection going on at the House. We have protests and violence breaking out all across the country. Being in Metro Detroit, and Tlaib needs to be removed from Congress. She's a fucking traitor. Well, that's how you know that they're Democrats, but this is what our president looks like right now. We have World War III about to break out. We have protests and violence all across the United States. We have an insurrection at the United States House, and this is literally our fucking president right now. He didn't. They tried to even pull him over with his fucking arm, and he still didn't. He still didn't go. This is a crisis situation. This is an absolute crisis situation. Our country is. I know we've seen it fall over time, but we're there. We're there where this bullshit is going to continue to happen. It's going to continue to ramp up. We're going to continue to see more and more of this. We have elected leaders that are American elected representatives that are talking about a foreign nation that is a direct enemy of the United States fomenting a goddamn insurrection. And we want to sit here and take the moral high ground and say, no, I'm done with it. If January 6th was an insurrection, this absolutely 100% is an insurrection. And this one's probably worse because it's by foreign fucking actors. At least it's enshrined in our Constitution that we could have done January 6th if it were. If it's fucked up, we can fix it. These are foreign actors in our building trying to stop official proceedings of our government. Thank you, Patrick, for becoming a new member. Again, yeah, this is pure insanity. And we have some jackass president that's across this overseas in a hostile war, not taking care of any of this. And all we heard today from the election is that we want to, we got to give them more money. We got to send both of them more money. We got to send more money to Palestine. We got to send more money to Israel. We got to send more money to Ukraine because we have to foment these goddamn wars until they get out of hand, because they won't stop until they have exactly what they want. And I don't know. We should be able to repel an enemy invasion. We should. Yep, absolutely. 3 of them, Gemini. 3 of them out of hundreds upon hundreds. So we'll go back to MTG. So this is outside. Trying to get a good shot of it.
So here you go. The peaceful,
So that's outside.
The peaceful left, Marjorie.
I'm up here, so they're attacking me. And I'm a member of Congress that actually votes for funding, but they're attacking me. This is the left. We know exactly who these people are.
So, and then here's inside. And they've arrested 3 people. They said that there was a really big small fence, but they don't know how they got in, but it could have been peacefully. Hang on. I'm terrible at skipping through videos. There we go. 3 of all those people have been charged. 3 people, 3 individuals, 3. You're goddamn right. If this is allowed to happen here, we have no country anymore. There is no country anymore. This is the live stream. So their legal protest was by the Washington Monument. It was in the National Mall, and it was supposed to be from noon Eastern to 4 Eastern. Well, it is now 5 Eastern, so they're past their legitimately issued protest. They were also not legally allowed to go into this office building. And there's going to be 4 or 3, excuse me, don't let me make it too many. There will be 3 people arrested for an insurrection by a foreign hostile actor in our congressional office building. What the absolute fuck? So the authority is supposed to acknowledge your right to overthrow it. By the true letter of the Constitution, but when you get too much tyranny in it, you can't We haven't followed our own constitution in so long, Bobby, that half the people don't know what it is, 30% don't give a shit, and the other 20% don't have enough resources to wake up the other fucking 80%. Yeah, so sick of this. 9/11, Boston Marathon, Paris attacks, terror attacks across Europe, all by jihad. Yeah. And to be fair, Israel is going to have their major protest on the Capitol grounds tomorrow. And if they do some shit like this, they also need to go to jail. Every single goddamn one of them.
Assault on the people of this nation.
Oh, he's just saying he's saying the same bullshit all over again. And a president gave a press conference, took no questions, did nothing. Proclaimed that you don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist. I don't know if anybody's seen that. Fuck it. We could probably watch it again. Not going to hurt anything. It's like 15 minutes. Address. In Tel Aviv. Gave no nothing, no questions, no nothing. A traditional Biden speech. Short, incoherent, and ridiculous.
Which has precision bombs and one of the most sophisticated and well-financed and well-supported militaries in the world.
We see the president approaching the microphone. Yep. We'll go straight to him now.
I come to Israel with a single message. You're not alone. You are not alone. As long as the United States stands, and we will stand forever, we'll not let you ever be alone. Most importantly, I know the recent terrorist assault on the people of this nation has left a deep, deep wound. More than 1,300 innocent Israelis killed, including at least 31 American citizens by the terrorist group Hamas. Hundreds of young people at a music festival. The festival was for peace, gunned down as they ran for their lives. Scores of innocents, from infants to elderly grandparents, Israelis and Americans, taken hostage. Children slaughtered, babies slaughtered, entire families massacred. Rape, beheadings, bodies burned alive. Hamas committed atrocities that recall the worst ravages of ISIS, unleashing pure, unadulterated evil upon the world.
American Gorilla,
No
he can't say it either.
No excusing it, period. The brutality we saw would have cut deep anywhere in the world, but it cuts deeper here in Israel. October 7th, which was a sacred Jewish holiday, became the deadliest day for the Jewish people since the Holocaust. It has brought to the surface painful memories and scars left by millennia of anti-Semitism and the genocide of the Jewish people. The world watched then, it knew, and the world did nothing. We will not stand by and do nothing again. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. To those who are living in limbo, waiting desperately to learn the fate of a loved one, especially to families of the hostages, you're not alone. We're working with partners throughout the region, pursuing every avenue to bring home those who are being held captive by Hamas. I can't speak publicly about all the details, but let me assure you, for me, as the American president, there's no higher priority than the release and safe return of all these hostages. To those who are grieving, a child, a parent, a spouse, a sibling, a friend, I know you feel like there's that black hole in the middle of your chest. You feel like you're being sucked into it. The survivor's remorse, the anger, the questions of faith in your soul. Staring at that empty chair, sitting Shiva. The first Sabbath without them. They're the everyday things, the small things that you miss the most. The scent when you open the closet door. The morning coffee you shared together. The bend of his smile, the perfect pitch of her laugh. The giggle of your little boy, the baby. For those who have lost loved ones, this is what I know. They'll never be truly gone. There's something that's never been lost. Your love for them and their love for you. And I promise you, you'll be walking along some days and say, what would she or he want me to do? You smile when you pass a place that reminds you of them. That's when you know. When a smile comes to your lips before a tear to your eye, that's when you know you're going to fully make it. That's what will give you the fortitude to find light in the darkest hours. When terrorists believe they could bring you down, bend your will, break your resolve. But they never did, and they never will. Instead, we saw incredible stories of heroism and courage, Israelis taking care of one another, neighbors forming watch groups to protect their kibbutz, opening their homes to shelter survivors, retired soldiers running into danger once again, civilian medics flying across rescue missions, and off-duty medics at the music festival caring for the wounded before becoming a victim himself. Volunteers retrieving bodies of the dead so families could bury their loved ones in accordance with Jewish tradition. Reservists leaving behind their families, their honeymoons, their studies abroad without hesitation, and so much more. The state of Israel was born to be a safe place for the Jewish people of the world. That's why it was born. I've long said, if Israel didn't exist, we'd have to invent it. While it may not feel that way today, Israel must again be a safe place for the Jewish people. And I promise you, we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that it will be. 75 years ago, just 11 minutes after its founding, President Harry S. Truman and the United States of America became the first nation to recognize Israel.
Did
We
you
stood
say
by
the
your side
Harriet
ever
Truman?
since. We're going to stand by your side now. My administration was in close touch with your leadership from the first moments of this attack. We're going to make sure we have what you need to protect your people, to defend your nation. For decades, we've ensured Israel's qualitative military edge. And later this week, I'm going to ask the United States Congress for an unprecedented support package for Israel's defense.
I have no
We're going
idea.
to keep Iron
Bobby.
Dome fully supplied.
None.
So we can continue standing sentinel over
This is
Israeli
the fourth
skies,
time I've seen this
saving
today.
Israeli lives.
I have no idea.
We've moved U.S. military assets to the region, including positioning the USS Ford Carrier Strike Group in the Eastern Mediterranean, with the USS Eisenhower on the way to defer further aggression against Israel and to prevent this conflict from spreading. The world will know that Israel is stronger than ever.
The who?
My message to any state or any other hostile actor thinking about attacking Israel remains the same as it was a week ago. Don't. Since this terrorist attack took place, we've seen it described as Israel's 9/11. But for a nation the size of Israel, it was like 15 9/11s. The scale may be different, but I'm sure those horrors have tapped into some kind of primal feeling in Israel, just like it did and felt in the United States. Shock, pain, rage, an all-consuming rage. I understand, and many Americans understand. You can't look at what has happened here to your mothers, your fathers, your grandparents, sons, daughters, children, even babies, and not scream out for justice. Justice must be done. But I caution this: while you feel that rage, don't be consumed by it. After 9/11, we were enraged in the United States. While we sought justice and got justice, we also made mistakes.
Joey, you haven't
I'm
seen
the first
anything
U.S.
yet,
president
buddy.
to visit Israel in time of war. I've made wartime decisions. I know the choices are never clear or easy for the leadership. There's always cost, but it requires being deliberate. It requires asking very hard questions. It requires clarity about the objectives and an honest assessment about whether the path you're on will achieve those objectives. The vast majority of Palestinians are not Hamas. Hamas does not represent the Palestinian people. Hamas uses innocent families in Gaza as human shields putting their command centers, their weapons, their communications tunnels in residential areas. Palestinian people are suffering greatly as well. We mourn the loss of innocent Palestinian lives like the entire world. I was outraged and saddened by the enormous loss of life yesterday in the hospital in Gaza. Based on the information we have seen to date, it appears the result of an errant rocket fired by a terrorist group in Gaza. The United States unequivocally stands for the protection of civilian life during conflict, and I truly grieve for the families who were killed or wounded by this tragedy. The people of Gaza need food, water, medicine, shelter. Today, I asked the Israeli cabinet, who I've met with for some time this morning, to agree to the delivery of life-saving humanitarian assistance to civilians in Gaza, based on the understanding that there will be inspections and that the aid should go to civilians, not to Hamas. Israel agreed the humanitarian assistance can begin to move from Egypt to Gaza. Let me be clear. If Hamas diverts or steals the assistance, they will have demonstrated once again that they have no concern for the welfare of the Palestinian people. And it will end. As a practical matter, it will stop the international community from being able to provide this aid. We're working in close cooperation with the government of Egypt, the United Nations, and its agencies like
AI
the Wolf
can't even fuck up
Program
this
and other
bad.
partners in the region to get trucks moving across the border as soon as possible. Separately, I ask Israel that the global community demand that the International Red Cross be able to visit hostages. I just demanded that the United States fully supports. Today, I'm also announcing $100 million in new U.S. funding for humanitarian assistance in both Gaza and the West Bank. This money will support more than 1 million displaced and conflict-affected Palestinians, including emergency needs in Gaza. You are a Jewish state. You are a Jewish state, but you're also a democracy. Like the United States, you don't live by the rules of terrorists. You live by the rule of law. When conflicts flare, you live by the law of wars. What sets us apart from the terrorists is we believe in the fundamental dignity of every human life. Israeli,
I'm just
Palestinian,
pissed off an American.
Arab, Jew, Muslim, Christian, everyone. You can't give up what makes you who you are. If you give that up,
fucking things
then
are
the
short
terrorists
circuits
win,
every day.
and we can
Just
never
randomly.
let them win. You know, Israel's a miracle, a triumph of faith and resolve and resilience over impossible pain and loss. Think about October 7th, the Jewish holiday, where you read about the death of Moses, a tragic story of a profound loss to an entire nation, a death that could have left hopelessness in the hearts of the entire nation. But though Moses died, his memory, his message, his lessons have lived on for generations of the Jewish people as well as many others. And just as the memory of your loved ones will live on as well. After reading the story of Moses' death,
God, listening to him is so
those who
painful.
observe the holiday began reading the Torah from the very beginning. The story of creation reminds us of two things. First, that when we get knocked down, we get back up again and we begin anew. And second, when we're faced with tragedy and loss, we must go back to the beginning and remember who we are. We are all human beings, created in the image of God with dignity, humanity, and purpose. In the darkness, to be the light unto the world is what we're about. You inspire hope and light for so many around the world. That's what the terrorists seek to destroy. That's what they seek to destroy. Because they live in darkness, but not you, not Israel. Nations of conscience like the United States and Israel are not measured solely by the example or power. We're measured by the power of our example.
I think it's about noon today.
We must keep pursuing peace.
12:30 maybe.
Must keep pursuing
Eastern.
the path so that Israel and the Palestinian people can both live safely, in security, in dignity, and in peace. For me, that means a two-state solution. We must keep working for Israel's greater integration with its neighbors.
Oh my God.
These attacks have only strengthened my commitment and determination and my will to get that done. I'm here to tell you the terrorists will not win. Freedom will win. So let me end where I began. Israel, you're not alone. The United States stands with you. I've told the story before, and I'll tell it again, of my first meeting with an Israeli prime minister 50 years ago as a young senator. I was sitting across from Golda Meir at her desk in her office. And she had a guy who later became prime minister, sitting next to me just before the 1973 Yom Kippur War. And she flipped the maps up and down, telling me how bad things were and how terrible they were. All of a sudden, she looked at me. She said, "Would you like a photograph?"
This, thanks to Stingy, this was specifically the story he has told in the past. It was specifically debunked by The Truth, the CNN News. Specifically debunked. This never happened. It was not the right time frame. He was not important enough to even for that lady to even care at the time, the former Israeli prime minister. This 100% did not happen.
I looked at her. She got up from her desk and walked out into that hallway. I think it's marble flooring. Walked out in the hallway. We walked out and there were a bunch of photographers standing in front of us. We were standing shoulder to shoulder. Without her looking at me, she said to me, knowing I'd hear her, "Why do you look so worried?"
You don't think you're coming with us, Gemini?
And I said, "Worried? Like, of course I'm worried." And she looked at me and she didn't look. She said, "Don't worry, Senator. We Israelis have a secret weapon. We have nowhere else to go." Well, today, I say to all of Israel, the United States isn't going anywhere either. We're going to stand with you. We'll walk beside you in those dark days.
I doubt it.
We'll walk beside you in the good days to come. And they will come. As you say in Hebrew, which I'm not going to attempt to do because I'm such a terrible linguist, I'll say it in English. The people of Israel live. The people of Israel live. Israel will be safe, secure, Jewish, and democratic state today, tomorrow, and forever. May God protect all those who work for peace.
I don't give a damn.
God save those who are still in harm's way. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, what is your red line that would prompt U.S. military involvement in this war?
You have been listening.
Look at that man's face. It is so blank and empty that it is. Also, you listen to him, and it is incoherent. You can't understand anything he's saying. Nothing makes any sense whatsoever. And we're supposed to just have faith in this guy. American Gorilla, I think he was legitimately running out of breath at the end of that. I think he was struggling. So this apparently was on CNN just moments ago. He got away from his staff and started answering questions. I haven't listened to it, but apparently this was not intended to be aired or intended for him to respond.
Virtually every mass shooting, every circumstance where a large number of people have been victimized and lost, I've spoken with them. I learned a long time ago, what you've all learned in your life. When someone's going through something that is beyond their comprehension, that they ever thought they'd have to go through, if they see someone who they think understands or maybe been through something not the same but similar, it gives them some sense of hope. And I always get criticized sometimes by my staff because when I go to these events, I stay for 3 to 4 hours to answer all their questions. But it matters. It matters a lot. And look, I'm talking, some of you have gone through a hell of a lot more than I've gone through, and a lot more than other people have gone through. And you understand. So it's just People are looking for just something to grab, something that gives them some sense of hope. And that's, if I can do a little bit of that, then it's, you know, it's worth doing. Done for me. So,
I'm convinced at this point that it is a small flock of geese that probably infiltrated us from Canada, if we're being honest here. I think we should invade Canada now, and no, but I can't answer that question for you, and that's the scariest part. It's definitely not that man. There's no way in hell you can sell to me that that man is the man running the country when we're headed into World War III. And if that is the man running the country as we're headed into World War III, we're further off than we ever could have imagined. So it started with an insurrection, just a light insurrection, and ended with Biden being Biden. I guess the moral to the story is I think that these things are going to be more and more prevalent. I think that these things are going to be more and more concerning. And I think we need to remain extremely vigilant and certainly ready to defend ourselves and our homes and all that good stuff because we are in trouble. We are in trouble. Very likely. Very likely. But we are deep in the shit. And I don't see a meaningful way out at this point. I think we're in it. We're going to have to deal with the hand that we were dealt. And we're going to have to make strides from this point forward. I don't think that there's a easy way for us to escape this one. So, I'm gonna see if it. Oh, yep, I'm red. This video is unavailable to be monetized. I'm gonna check before I logged off. No shocker there. But, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we can just end with the Representative Bobert. Can I honk your big fake boobies? That's what it says. So that's not me saying it. That's the side saying it. So I think unfortunately that's going to have to be the way that something happens. Like it doesn't work with 350, 60, 70, probably closer to 400 with all the migrants. 400 million people. This system does not work anymore. It's not a viable system anymore. Yes. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. It's kind of where we're at. And it looks like we're starting to wind down. We just have a couple of loonies left. So again, I don't know how this is reconcilable, even for the Democrats who are great at spinning things and making shit up. How do you reconcile this group of people right here with your support for Israel? And it's going to be interesting to see how that all comes down. I think 4 or 5 independent countries will probably be the way to go and probably the realistic way of doing things. Yep. 100%. But But I think that I think it's gonna be it for me. No show tonight because I wasn't gonna try and do anything today, but then shit's gotta happen on Wednesday. Day I try and take off, but that's gonna be it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for stopping by. Please hit that like. Please hit that subscribe. If you haven't seen me in a couple days, I am very, very likely going to be over on Rumble for a few days. Anyways, him and Fetterman use the same dealer, very likely. But he yelled, so the Marine as he walked. Yeah, he's somebody's feeding him lines. Somebody's feeding him what he should say, what he should do, how he should act. And yep. Yes, sir. I think so. Now you're making me question myself, damn it. It is Wednesday, October 18th, 2023, bud. Glad I could break your day, but thank you guys. Have a good night. I will talk to you all very, very soon. Maybe if I can find the outro. Maybe. All right. Bye-bye.